Hi, I'm Granny, and we're going down the rabbit hole of Fata Morgana mirages. A Fata Morgana is a type of mirage that occurs above the horizon and often involves boats, islands, and coastlines. This optical illusion causes objects to become strangely distorted. Just because your eyes see a ship floating in the air doesn't mean ships float in the sky aside from blimps. In fact, Fata Morgana mirages often look so thoroughly confounding that it can be difficult to tell what is real and what is merely an illusion. Think about that. Ships, for instance, may look like they're inverted, stretched, or compressed. Ghostly images intermittently appear to levitate in midair above the water. And there are pictures that you can Google and see that, are pretty interesting. The phenomenon is named after Morgana Le Fay, a sorceress in Arthurian legends. The term Fata Morgana is an Italian translation of Morgan the Fairy. These images are often seen in the Italian Strait of Messina, which is located between Sicily and Italy, and describes as fairy tales in the air or false land conjured by her magic. The Arthurian legend is a fictionalized account of King Arthur's life in Britain based on Celtic mythology. The legend includes many characters and stories that you have probably heard of. The legend of King Arthur has spread throughout Western culture and is a symbol of justice, courtly chivalry, and rightful kingship. The question of whether Arthur was real or not has captured public fascination and led to scholarly debate. And you can go down that rabbit hole because there seems to be some validation to someone being named Arthur, or anyway, down that hole yourself. Some of the characters of the Arthurian legend is King Arthur, a good and fair king who is betrayed by those he loves, including his wife and best friend and knight. Merlin is a wise wizard, prophet of the Holy Grail, and advisor to King Arthur. Gawain is King Arthur's nephew and loyal supporter. Mordred is a traitor who fights King Arthur at the Battle of Camlan. Lancelot is a knight who falls in love with Arthur's wife and queen, Guinevere. Knights of the Round Table were a symbol of equality because it was round, meaning that everyone who sat at it was seen as equal. I really like that idea. The table had no head or foot, so no one had a special seat of honor. Long ago, people used to believe that mirages were actually floating fairy castles created by Morgan Le Fay's witchcraft to enchant sailors and lure them to their deaths. Today, these images still continue to confuse observers. Some report Fata Morgana images as UFOs and other illusions. Scientists, however, know that these strange occurrences aren't UFO or spectral fairy castles. The first time I saw a mirage and recognized it as a mirage was as a child driving down the Arizona highway during the summer when the asphalt was intensely hot, making oncoming traffic look like they were floating in the air. Mirages are simple optical illusions caused by bent light rays passing through layers of different air temperatures. What does Fata Morgana mirages have to do with Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein published his theory of general relativity in 1915, while the final form of the theory was published in 1960. The core concepts of general relativity were presented by Einstein in a series of papers throughout 1915. Albert Einstein explained that light bends, which is really interesting because if you ever play with shadow puppets, it seems to be really crisp, but there's more to it. Albert Einstein explained that the light bends, which was confirmed in 1919 during a total solar eclipse. Arthur Eddington conducted an expedition to observe the solar eclipse of May 1919 on the island of Principe, which is off the coast of Equatorial Guinea. That provided one of the earliest confirmations of general relativity. Eddington observed that starlight appeared to be slightly shifted when passing near the sun, thus validating Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity, which predicted this phenomenon due to the sun's gravity. So gravity can affect light waves. That is just so interesting. If you want to pretend that mirages you see on a hot summer day floating above the heated asphalt as fairy castles, go ahead. Just make sure that you don't let them carry you away. Thanks for spending this time with me. Please join me next time when Granny goes down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe and share. Thank you very much.